5 minutes to the start of the 72nd Sydney Hobart race, and this is it. This is, I've got to say, Pete, one of the most exciting parts of this race is the jostling that goes on from here on in, trying to find that right place that will give you the edge to be first out the heads.
Yes, it's fantastic. In the overall context of the race, it doesn't mean that much, but it's a psychological advantage to be first out the heads. I mean, it's just a nice feeling for the boys, but the priority is to get out clean. No doubt about that. I mean, if you're second or third or fourth or last, doesn't really matter as long as you're out clean, because there's so much traffic.
Can you send one of your text messages to Mark Richards in 5 minutes and tell him that it's not that important to be at first out the heads? He takes this so seriously, doesn't he? It is on this. You're exactly right what you say, but there's so much pride, Pete, isn't there, in being first out?
It's a wonderful thrill, and they'll be still striving to do it, of course, but...
have a bit of a sniff.
Oh, and these guys can't stop racing. This is what they do. Listening to Mark Richards from here, because he will set this up perfectly.
There's a lot of left in this breeze, meaning that it's probably northeast and not...
Go slow here, slow. Go slow.
A real true nor'easter. So that means the left-hand side or the western side of the harbour will be favoured. High tension now aboard all these yachts.
Trim up, come on, best trim. Trim up.
3.5 minutes.
Trim up.
See Chris Hampson there on the main sheet, just looking up. Formerly of Tasmania. Great yachtsman.
Trim up, trim up, trim up, trim up, trim up. Trim up, trim up, trim up.
204 Sydney Hobart's experience on board Wild Oats 11.
310.
Stand by to attack. Stand by to attack. Yeah. Shh, don't yell. Big tack. Tacking over. Get a bit of board down. Board down. Get the board down.
Here, Rico, he said, don't yell. I think with about a minute to go, he might have not remembered what he said. Here they go. They're coming back now to dip behind the line. There's Perpetual Loyal running downwind, both on port tack. Here comes...
Ease to me, ease to me. Ease.
Mark Richards just calling for the sails to be eased so he can drive downwind to get below the line. 2 minutes 15 to go. So they're going to engage with Loyal by the look of it. They both want this left hand or pin end.
Stand by to drive. How long? How long? No driving. Driving, here we go.
2 minutes.
Watch out, big fella, cannot see. Ease, Harmo, ease. Ease. How long? Come up.
As you can see, the two yellow boys, one in the bottom of the screen and one right up the top. That's the starting line. So they've just got to be behind that. And if they are over, they are not recalled until 5 minutes after the start. So it's a big penalty to pay if you are over.
Different strategies too, with a minute and a half to go. CQS just easing up, Scallywag back a little bit. Oates and Loyal back a little bit further. Here comes Oates.
115. Ball's going behind you. 110.
He's main.
105.
Okay, Wild Oats has got the pin. There's no doubt about that.
Coming up here, coming up.
There's Maserati coming behind him, but Wild Oats will have the leeward pin where he wants. He'll drive into the spectator fleet, call water, then hopefully cross the fleet on port tack. Scallywag putting bow down now to try and engage with Wild Oats. I think he's a bit late.
45 seconds.
CQS right in the middle of the line, absolutely stopped. He's got his keel canted to windward so he can stop the boat.
Go. Main on. Hold.
Okay, here's Scallywag and Loyal very close together.
Go. Hold.
Inside 30 seconds now for the start.
How long? Hold.
CQS looks close to being over.
Jib on. Go, Jib. Go. Main on. Go.
There they go. go. They're away in the 2016 Sydney Hobart. 88 yachts, 1,100 sailors, all racing to Hobart in this iconic test of skill, endurance and courage.
Veteran Sid Fisher fired the starting gun. The pedal is down, and I think Loyal and Scallywag will have Wild Oats pinned down there. I don't think Wild Oats can cross them. Here they go. They've called water. Here comes Wild Oats on port. She does not have right away. She's going to have to dip. She's going to dip.
Smoke it, Hummo. Smoke it. Please. Go now. Let's go. Trim on. I've got it. Trim on. Trim main. Trim the main, Hummo. Trim the main. Watch out. Can't see. Let's go. Trim on. Get the board out. Get down. Trim on, Hummo. Go. Go. Watch out, Josh. I can't fucking see, mate. Trim on. He's the main. Let's go. Main on. Let's go. Main on. Good work, guys. Let's go. Main on. God, big fella. It's nowhere near as fast as he said it was. That was a terrible start, mate.
Well, you heard Mark Richards say it, a terrible start. There wasn't as much left in the wind as they thought. He got pinned down there, and Scallywag and Perpetual Loyal forced him behind them, screaming for the main sheet off so he could pull away behind the boats. He was on port tack. He had no rights at all. So Scallywag and Perpetual Loyal have won the early battle to be first out the heads. Scallywag did marvellously well there. She locked Loyal out.
Copy, Western Channel.
So you can see they've jumped away from Wild Oats, and Wild Oats is coming back on starboard tacks, but a whole group of boats have beaten her to the punch here, Wild Oats. She's well back.
Lucy, hike it out. 15 seconds. We need all the stability, boys.
Fantastic action.
We need to hike hard.
Now, what Dave Witt's saying, there's no water. They don't have water ballast in the boat to give it stability. They'll probably do that once they're outside the heads. And you can see her leaning over more than Perpetual Loyal.
10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, guys, we're going. Checking.
Well, there's CQS. She's got a bit on. She's almost capsizing. I mean, this is this radical boat, and no one really knew what was going to happen to her. And it looks as though she's in all sorts of trouble as the Yokomo just goes behind Wild Oats, who's just at the Western Channel pile light. So she's got a very disappointing start, Wild Oats, most unlike Mark Richards. He's normally the guru at starting in this Sydney Hobart race, but he's well behind at the moment, and it's left to Scallywag and Perpetual Loyal. You heard Dave Witt counting down to the tack. That means to give everyone time. They know what they're doing, and then he tacked the boat. But here's CQS in all sorts of trouble.
But there's the moment for CQS. Look how close they got, boy. Now that's as close as we've seen at a start to a capsize, Pete.
Well, I think what happened was there was a boat there on starboard tack. CQS was on port, didn't have right away, had to throw in a very quick tack, and she got all chicken winged up, and she's starting to get rolling now. But you can see that outrigger that supports the shrouds. That's hitting the water even at this relatively low wind speed. But we've got to settle down now. I mean, Mark Richards, he really
All the way, yep.
got things a little bit wrong there.
Okay? Get on the peak.
Now, that's Dave Witt. He can't see the leeward boundary line. He cannot go into the spectator fleet, but Perpetual Loyal is in front. She's on starboard tack. She has all the rights when Scallywag tacks.
10 seconds
Unless is Witt, he's going to call a tack.
Twist.
He may call water on Perpetual Loyal. There goes Scallywag. No, Perpetual Loyal well ahead. He's tacking on the lee bow of Scallywag. He can hold himself up there and squeeze Scallywag out. So Scallywag needs to hold his height. It's not an easy thing to do, but a terrific job by Anthony Bell and his team aboard.
Come on, Marky. Main on. High mode. Main on, Tommy.
Another good story this year for Loyal. They are leading them out the heads once again. They did it last year. They're on course to do it again in 2016.
He's in a controlling position there. He can just squeeze up on Scallywag and really give him disturbed air.
Work on the boat speed. We've got to do over 10s.
He can't put the bow down because he'll really get into the foul air of Perpetual Loyal. Loyal really can just hold up and squeeze him out.
Just struck, mate. Still slide here. Just not getting the speed. Not getting the speed, guys. Get the runner up. Get the runner up.
See Perpetual Loyal squeezing up on the bow of Scallywag here. He's in a really lovely controlling position as they head for the inshore mark Victor, which is their first turning mark before they head to sea to the offshore mark Zulu. It's going to be Perpetual Loyal who'll win the bragging rights for first out the heads. Wild Oats just coming back into the picture slightly now, but she's still behind. She's going to tack on the lee bow of these, or to leeward of these two Volvo 70s. Away she goes. And that's Bo Jest there, who will be third out.
Great start by Bo Jest.
Yeah, very well sailed.
Let's go, guys. Let's get it going here.
Mark Richards will be looking for more speed now. He would not like being behind Perpetual Loyal and Scallywag.
Okay, within 45 seconds, guys.
See the northeasterly breeze freshening now, so it's up probably 15 to 18 knots and going to be building to 20 to 25 pretty soon as they get down the coast. In about 15 to 20 minutes or so, it'll be a good steady 20 knots. There's Scallywag having to tack over.
Just over 7 minutes into this race, and one of the most exciting starts we've seen. It's had everything. The Perpetual Loyal leads from Scallywag, Wild Oats 11 and Bo Jest.
Blackjack's right in the mix too, another Volvo 70. Peter Harburg's charge from Queensland. So Scallywag's standing away now on starboard tack. She'll come back and engage Loyal, but Loyal has really done a number on these boats. She likes the flat water. She's a big, heavy boat. And she's got a lot of stability, so it's suiting her, this flat water, high breeze area. Won't suit her that much when they get running conditions, but nonetheless, she's done a terrific job down the harbour.
One of the great sights as they head out through Sydney Heads. Huge spectator fleet, and right around the shore of Sydney Harbour and beyond, huge numbers out watching this annual spectacle.
Probably stand on for another couple of 100 metres before tacking for their turning mark.
Gotta go fast here.
See, Rico's still not up to speed on Wild Oats. It's Bo Jest is still ahead of him. Just trying to get the trim right between the balance between the main sheet and the headsail, the main sheet traveller. It's a big combination to get things right, to get the feel of the boat okay. And here's Loyal. It's Scallywag has tacked for the turning mark. Loyal has tacked right on the air of Scallywag to throw her some dirty air, but she's just cracked the sheets now. She's easily laying this turning mark, so she's going to have a very nice advantage here. You can see the twin rudders, the windward rudder coming out of the water. There's the turning mark. An easy lay for Perpetual Loyal. It'll be a reasonably tight lay for Scallywag. Wild Oats will probably go up to Scallywag's line and perhaps